Revolution is upon us. All over Britain, people are dancing to a different tune. Tonight on All Black, we take you into the underworld of jungle.
Jungle is a London something, and a London something this.
Take up on the rhythm like a Helios rider, 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 rider. Take up on the rhythm.
The scale of this scene is gigantic.
When you hear jungle music, the beats there, but it's alive, and the bass line just holds you.
I think it's very sexual music. I heard the beat and it was like, yeah, I was getting back to my roots.
Just showing life on the streets. I mean, America got hip-hop, Jamaica, they got their ragga, we got jungle, simple.
Jungle has been called the sound of urban Britain. It takes dance music back to its black roots. It emerged in the late 80s as a breakaway from the rave scene when DJs started experimenting with black sounds. Until then, rave music attracted a largely white audience, but jungle's rhythms and bass lines appealed to black youth. This man is one of the Mr. Bigs in jungle, whose label, Kickin' Records, has produced 6 albums. He remembers the opposition that DJs originally faced.
Certain faction of the rave scene started to dance with a more breakbeaty, with the ragga samples, and certain people, some of the white boys would say, yeah, I'm not dancing this jungle, bunny music. So it created a kind of a split, really, and when Smiley and PJ really said in the early part of the 90s, saying, well, look, we feel jungle is an insult to black people, they were right, but it's kind of backfired because jungle is now becoming a big thing.
In the last year, jungle has grown from a small, exclusive underground scene to the main sound on the streets. Over the summer, as many as 20,000 people were raving to jungle every weekend. In London, major West End clubs now feature jungle. Even Radio 1 has begun to play it. MC Lenny's job is to work up the crowd at the raves. He says jungle gets people moving by sampling the old records that everyone loves and mixing them in with fast dance beats.
Jungle's about samples, believe me. It's about the samples of the reggae artists what are in the music. I'm going to show you a thing about Buju Banton. It's on Jungle Hits Volume 1, so listen. And it doesn't have to be just ragga, just reggae. It can also be soul. Listen. As you can see, this is the sound of Anita Baker. This is soul. Just giving you a taste that it's not about anything else, it's about the samples. Whether soul, whether reggae, is still black influenced. That's why the boys are onto this lick here.
They don't know, you know what I mean? So you can just
In this scene, the DJs are also producers and musicians. Fabio and LTJ Bookham were amongst the earliest creators of jungle. They say it has certain distinctive trademarks.
Well, I think it was just like a blend of reggae bass lines, you know. It was just, it's a bass thing, really. It comes off the bass line. You see, that's the difference between jungle and techno. Techno is kind of like high frequencies, and jungle is low frequencies, like really heavy bass, exaggerated bass. But I think it's just coming from soul, reggae, all kind of forms of black music.
It's got a touch of, everyone's like inspirations, isn't it? And
yeah.
Mingled up and
even jazz, because it's quite freestyle as well. The thing that makes it different from a lot of other music is the speed. It's just a lot faster.
Affordable computers have opened up music making to a new generation and revolutionized the creative process.
If you take the emergence of computer technology, particularly the Atari, around about 1990 onwards, it provided an opportunity for a lot of urban youngsters, black and white, to actually inform the music with their own sampling, with their own experiences, and to make the music a bit more relevant to what they wanted to hear and what they were feeling. You know, the computer technology just created a whole generation of bedroom junglists.
Technology's been the most important thing, because without people being able to go out and just spend a grand, a couple of grand on a computer and a sampler, then they couldn't there's no other way of laying down the music. You got to go and sort of a big studio or do this and do that. So technology's been the main sort of reason why people can go out and do what they're doing now.
A lazy Sunday afternoon in North London, and a young computer genius is working at home.
What about the bumper part? Would you do that as a separate mix on the tape on the recording?
Andre and his friend Rodney, also known as Shy FX and MC Gunsmoke, are busy composing a new tune in Shy's bedroom. As Gunsmoke's voice is recorded on his sister's tape deck, Shy samples the beats on his computer.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
To outer order, man a go on like them a big time gangster. Walk up and load with them gun in a them collector. So your next man,
Hey, wicked.
like any pussy that come cross the border. Get in a them with them, draw them boys to master. How we a gangster, and we to outer order.
Wicked. Hey, original.
You know that?
Part 2. What is this, part 2, Shy?
Shy, a trainee studio engineer and student Gunsmoke, use their every free moment to finish their single Gangster 2. In a month's time, they'll be performing it live.
How you like it? Wicked. It's important for me to have equipment in my bedroom because you get all your ideas, you know what I mean? You don't get your ideas and forget it by the time you go to the studio. You know, you can put it down roughly what you want. About 40% of the work's done here. You know what I mean? I just get a rough structure of what the program's going to be, what the idea of the tune is and everything. Usually I program the drums on the computer here, put a bass line or whatever, and then the rest of it's in the studio.
Shy and Gunsmoke say the violent lyrics in Gangster were inspired by a real-life incident.
Gangster came about because we were hearing a lot of tunes that are sampling of films and the rest of it, yeah. And I was thinking, well, boy, you know, we should do something more original than that, you know what I mean? Get some London talk so everybody can relate to it still, you know what I mean? So me and my brethren, we started the introduction and everything, then we just built the tune around it.
What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? Shut up, don't ask me that, man. Don't kill him, man.
Some boy was running another boy, whatever, and his friend was telling him about it in a car. They see the boy that was running him, so they get out of the car, kill him basically, jump back into the car and go about their business. Instances like that do happen, mate, not usually with a gun or something, but instances like that do happen. That's why I put it in there in the first place, you know what I mean? So everybody knows what we're talking about. There's things that are happening still. Maybe not that extreme, but things are happening.
Watch, when I see him, I'm gonna teach him I don't care. He got too far now, you understand?
Gangster Jungle is often criticised for glamorising violence, but not everyone agrees.
If it's a reflection on the reality which an individual seeks to portray through his or her music, then I cannot see how it can be a negative thing. They feed a mainstream, predominantly white fantasy about the lifestyles and the primary definers of blackness in Britain, the way in which young black men are seen to be running wild. And if, by feeding into this fantasy, artists embracing the so-called gangster rave genre can make money, then that is deeply subversive.
Rebellion. True rebellion. Jungle is about making music that adults hate and kids love. It's like the old rock and roll story, you know. It's like, if it's loud, I hate it. So I think personally that jungle is popular because the youth can let off on it. It's like it's an escape from their kind of society and environment. So, you know, anybody over 25, watch out.
Watch this!
Shy spent the last few months looking for singers. When he heard UK Apache, he decided to use him on his new release, Original Nutter. Apache is passionate about the music, as it symbolises for him the coming of age of Black Britain.
The jungle, because it's from England,
right, I can really relate to it. It's important to me because I'm born here. I'm from England and London, and nobody can't tell me that I'm not from here. It's like, I think one time I was going around, I was like ashamed of being British. Yeah, we got Woolworths, Marks and Spencer's, Sparks, and it's like the jungle's drawn me back into my roots, where I'm from, because though my parents are from, like, I'm half Arab, half Asian, African, I can relate to those countries only up to a point. Like when I talk to my children or whatever, I can't talk to them about Africa. I can't talk to them about where my dad's from, because my life has not been there. My life has been in England, London. I have to talk to them about Balham, Tooting, where I'm from. So if you're born in England, be proud of it. And don't make nobody tell you no different, no BMP or anything like that. Give us some of the voice. Pretty brown eyes, you know I see them. The jungle is British, I can really relate to it, you know, and it's our music. It's a disguise the way you treat me. Oh gosh. With your pretty brown eyes, keep on digging. Sure, man. That's for real. There's the contract there. What are you saying, man? What are you doing here? You say Sam, man? Oh gosh. What's happening with there?
Boy, yeah, you know?
How's the music going? Yeah, what's selling, man?
What's selling?
What's selling? Jungle it.
Push it up in there, man. Push it up in there.
Show the people then. What's going on?
That's going on. Hey, I want you to take note of that name, man. You see that name, man? UK Apache. Oh my gosh, man.
Thousands of copies of Original Nutter were sold on pre-release before it officially hit the shops. Jungle music appeals to both black and white, and some argue it represents a broader notion of Britishness.
I didn't know it was you at all.
Yeah.
It goes back to my argument about the redefinition of Britishness, a sense of Britishness, the British nation and British culture. For the first time, you're probably seeing all of those things being redefined on black terms. That in itself is a radical departure from what you've witnessed before.
UK Patchy's voice ain't there. His voice ain't there. I don't know what output's there.
For Shy, the long process of getting his single, Gangster 2, out on the streets continues. It's past midnight, the machinery is playing up, and everyone's tired. Fortunately, Rodney is still firing. Shy has invited DJ Ash from pirate radio station Cool FM to listen to the studio session in the hope that he'll give the tune essential pre-publicity. Ash was impressed.
Gangster 2, it'll be a hit. It will be a hit because it will get the right publicity, it will go through the right channels. I think it will do very well, and also any future stuff that Shy does as well will do very well.
Take it away, check us out. Goes up to all jungle.
DJs are the power brokers on the jungle scene. Charging up to £300 an hour, they can make or break musicians.
Well, for us, we're the jungle DJs who are running it now. All of us have got labels now, we're running our own music, we're making our own music, so to a certain extent we're dictating what's happening. A lot of music doesn't get through unless we play it, the top 20 DJs. If we're not playing it, it doesn't matter how good a track is,
Armed with the confidence that DJ Ash will promote his tune, Shy is off to have a dub plate cut for him.
Okay, so what speed are we cutting at?
45.
45, okay.
Costing £30, a dub plate is a limited edition record. Artists and DJs press them to test public reaction to a tune before its release. They're a key feature of the jungle scene.
On this particular scene, we play them to get a reaction. They're like stuff that isn't coming out for a while. Just, it's a tester. What do you think of this? If you like it, cut it, get a reaction and let me know. That is what a dub plate is meant to be for. If you're a DJ and I'm a DJ and you go to a record shop, you can buy exactly what I can buy. So how are we going to be different? Now, if you could get certain dub plates and I could get certain dub plates, that's a chance for me to prove my style against yours. Yours isn't going to be the same as mine. Steve, what's happening?
Oh, you're right.
I'm all right. Very good.
Got some good bits in today if you want some.
And a certain way to get through to the DJs is through giving them a dub plate. That's the best way for them to play it. Of course, Fabio and Groove Rider play something, everyone listens to it, you know, everybody wants it. It creates a buzz on the track, and that's how it sort of snowballs into something that's wanted.
You good?
Do some shopping?
Yeah.
This guy's come all the way from Canada to get his vinyl.
The DJs are the ones who influence any scene, and the artists. Now, because most of the music you hear, you won't see live PAs for these jungle, apart from Levy. They have to buy the records, the vinyl, and the DJs are playing the vinyl, so it's down to the DJs to influence the music. They can either kill it or take it somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll mix this one for you. Because I like you so much, you're such a good DJ.
The close-knit DJ fraternity is suspicious of jungle's imminent explosion into the mainstream.
What's happening, guys? Right, Trace?
Right, easy.
Ready?
Yeah.
Right, right time?
Yeah. Good. All right, Steve, man. Yeah, man.
Right.
Steve.
Oh, jeez. Wicked.
It's a youthful music, and it's not for the charts, you know. It's our music and we built it, do you know what I mean? And I don't want to see all the major people jumping on it and exploiting it, you know. People have tried to cross it over into the mainstream, and for me that just loses the whole flavour and the idea of the music, you know. It's an underground vibe, that's the way it should stay, do you know what I mean?
Everybody thinks a beat.
As we take a right tour, reaching out to all original gangster girl.
True to the spirit of jungle, last week Shy turned down a 6-figure sum for a contract from one of the major record companies. Instead, he's releasing his tunes through a small independent label, Sounds of the Underground, who have promised him greater artistic control. Virtually all jungle is still marketed through small independents.
I think the important thing with independent companies in the UK, is, well, ourselves especially, is that we go 50-50 with the artist, right across the board. So he will come in, he will make the music, and we will incur the expense of manufacturing and promoting that music. And at the end of the day, we'll split it 50-50. Whereas if he signs with a major, he may get 12 to 14% of the retail, maybe. In our contracts, our artists have the final say on mixes, on artwork, on remixes, on anything. And that's very important for us, because with something like jungle, you have to treat it with a bit more respect and let it grow naturally, and the artists grow naturally.
I think even if you spoke to the majors, they don't really care. They'll tell you that they don't care, really, at the end of the day. You know, as long as they can make money off you, that's all that really matters. A lot of people are weary, they know, you know, even from people like George Michael, if you see him kind of like getting distressed by his record company, you can imagine. And he's one of the biggest artists of all kinds of music in the world. Do you know what I mean? And from the little boys from Brixton or wherever, they know they're going to get manipulated. At the end of the day, I just think that I hope a lot of them ain't silly enough to kind of not get anything out of it themselves.
EMI is an international company with top artists on their books. Their A&R manager, DJ Elaine, is on the lookout for jungle talent.
You know, I'm not quite sure why a lot of the guys down there don't want it to go commercial, but, you know, I think in every field you'll find that a lot of people that originate stuff and whatever, they get a bit kind of green or whatever with envy because someone else is kind of crossed over.
Wicked, wicked, jungle is massive. Wicked, wicked, jungle is massive. Wicked, wicked.
Rank Records is a small independent label. They signed General Levy to perform Incredible, which immediately hit the top 40. With the remix currently in the top 10, Ant makes no apologies for their mainstream success.
After they found that the track had actually done quite well on the underground, then it appeared to them that they should actually try and do something much more important with it, like take it up to that step where they could get it into literally every shop. You can get a real feel as to how jungle is, and it also gets away from the fact that jungle, is made by people in sort of bedrooms, and you actually get to hear the records on vinyls, and that's it. This is actually bringing that step closer to getting to know who the artists are.
Yo, my day will of them I spin them like a windmill. New talk for them go.
When Incredible first broke into the charts, rumours spread that the former reggae artist was calling himself the King of Jungle. Pirate stations boycotted the tune, saying that he was selling their music out to the mainstream.
Now we've got M-Beat and General Levy, first jungle on Top of the Pops ever.
The future is in trying to get jungle out there or on Top of the Pops or live, because jungle actually is something, it's the only thing which, you know, black people from the streets of London, as well as whites, it's the only thing which whites and blacks from the streets have made together, and they've actually
I don't really want to talk about General Levy because General Levy don't deserve no time on the air whatsoever. Okay, granted, he done jungle some kind of justification. He got it noticed. But for him to rap off his mouth and say that he started jungle is nonsense. And that's all I have to say on the matter.
They should talk to the man himself, and then I would set the story straight. Did not say that I want to be the king of no jungle. Come to contribute, make people feel good. Who like it, who don't like it, just bite it.
He hopped from this music to that music, hopped to the jungle bandwagon, and then it's gone on like he was running it. You know what I mean? This the program, going on about he big up jungle and the rest of it. We don't need people like that coming in, you know what I mean, and riding off it and saying that they big it up, because he never big up nothing.
Incredible.
Now, it's not his fault that he went into the studio, he was inspired by the sound, by the vibe, whatever, he made a record, and it was a hit. Now, a lot of those people that are criticising him, if it didn't happen, then we wouldn't be here today talking about it, all right? And then they would be saying, why the hell is no one taking any notice?
It's a progressive movement, and anybody who's really fighting against it is really just is thinking on a negative vibe, when we should be thinking positively, thinking that we've got something new which was originated in England, London, pure London artists, London musicians involved in it. Why don't we try and boost this, push it worldwide, and say that England has got something? It's not just the Beatles.
Why is it called such a fuss?
Cut.
Shy's big night has finally arrived. In 8 hours' time, his posse will be in Wolverhampton for their first performance in front of a live audience. The dancers, Zioni and Harriet, are putting the finishing touches to their act.
I remember last time at Roller Express we did this other gig there, and the stage was like quite small, so we're going to have to see, you know, if we're going to go on one side or if we're going to go on the other side, or like 2 separate sides and stuff. We just have to see when we get there. All right, so we ready? Should we loosen up a bit?
The guys are a bit nervous, as it's their first time playing out of London, but the girls keep everyone's spirits high.
Wolverhampton with Shy Effects. Yeah. And we're just going to kick it up because we love jungle music. Yeah, on the right.
The posse arrive at Wolverhampton, and there's the usual confusion. The DJs are refusing to introduce the band from London as they weren't told they were coming. The guys aren't happy. The dancers are annoyed because there's no room on stage for them, so they have to perform elsewhere. Eventually, everything is smoothed out, and it's time to perform.
Right here tonight, a special treat. Let's give a big round of applause for UK Apache, Gunsmoke, and Shy Effects. A special treat for the ambassador.
I always wanted to be a gangster. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Wolverhampton was a great trip, you know, we had enough joke, enough laugh. Tore it down, man. The crowd, they wouldn't even give me a chance to do the tune, really. I had to laugh halfway through it. But that was a good response. It was good, it was great fun.
There's so many people now with their decks in their room trying, and that's brilliant. There's so many people making music, you know, and that's what's needed. You know, Britain doesn't encourage its talent enough, I don't feel.
Jungle for me is another modern phenomenon which will cross over and start to influence major artists. Even within the next year, you can see that happening.
When something makes enough noise, draws enough attention, you can't ignore it, you have to just go with it.
Respect and love on the scene. From side effects, don't smoke and you can punch me. Respect here.
Jungle in there.
In next week's programme, despite an increase in professional black footballers, the spectators are anything but all black.